Good morning, everyone. If you didn't realise, you have landed this evening at the 2022 National Landcare Awards Gala dinner. Thank you for frocking up and getting changed into your good gear. We've got a great night coming up. And dinner tonight follows a fantastic conference day where we've had speakers and exhibitors. As I mentioned earlier, for those of you who weren't here, we also have viewers online who couldn't be with us, but we have more than 1,300 delegates, with 900 of them online, who've been with us all day and this evening. We started with yesterday the first ever Next Gen Landcare Youth Forum, which was a fantastic event showcasing what youth are doing in Landcare around the country. And we carried that through to one of the opening conversations with Ella and Jaden, who will be closing the conference tomorrow. We then went on to Mark Howden. We had all of that information that he certainly rattled us with. Then we went to the Back to the Future panel, where we talked about language, succession, intergenerational inclusion. We heard from Penny Wensley, the National Soils Advocate, which was a perfect segue into Victor Stephenson, talking about soil as the starting point to heal the land and its identity under our feet, soft feet that have been on this land. You will notice over there we have our tree, which is where you can still sign your Landcare pledge, what you are going to do for Landcare, not just this year, but into the future. The National Landcare Awards celebrate and acknowledge the work of Landcarers from coast to the country and remote parts of Australia. The National Landcare Awards event is a showcase of the diversity of Landcare across Australia. And I'd like to welcome some of our special guests, Senator Raf Ciccone and Senator Perrin Davey from the Parliamentary Friends of Landcare. Thanks for joining us, Senators. It's wonderful to have you here. We have the National Soils Advocate who spoke with us at the conference earlier today, the Honourable Penny Wensley. Thank you, Penny. And I'd also like to give a big welcome to our conference speakers, to our Landcare volunteers, not only in the room, but all of you out there. Big round of applause for volunteers. Never shall you be underestimated or underappreciated. To Landcare groups and all other groups from Coast Care, Bush Care, River Care, Wild Care, June Care, Friends of, and lots of other community-led environment groups who are out there and here in the room. Government agencies supporting Landcare programs, farmers, farming systems groups, Landcare STOs. Can someone raise their hand and tell me what an STO is? First hand up wins a prize. Yeah, who said that? Oh, 10 hands. Well, you can each wear the hat from time to time. I'll bring that over in a minute. Landcare STOs and, of course, the National Landcare Network. Yeah, there we go. Please feel free to cheer for your group. Landcare facilitators. Okay, we're warming up now. Come on, this is not the conference, this is a dinner. You can go a bit off-piste now. Global Landcare. First Nations and traditional owners. Yeah, now we're talking. Junior Landcare, children and youth groups. NGOs. Oh, see, Global Landcare, you pushed in. I had you here. You got a double whammy there. Academics and researchers. The Landcare Australia team and their corporate and philanthropic partners. And many people who are new to Landcare and want to learn more. Who's new to Landcare? Give me a yell. Okay. We need more newies next year or the year after. That list is a diverse range of people with incredible projects in their parts of the world. They're helping to restore, enhance and protect our environment, landscapes and communities. You could say, and I said it earlier today, Landcare is for everyone because Landcare is life. We've got several Landcare Award categories proudly supported by our sponsors. First up, the Australian Government for the Australian Government Individual Landcarer Award, the Australian Government Partnerships for Landcare Award, and the Australian Government Landcare Farming Award. We have Woolworths for the Woolworths Junior Landcare Team Award. We have KPMG Australia for the KPMG Indigenous Land Management Award. Steadfast for the Steadfast Young Landcare Leadership Award. We have the Australian Community Media for the ACM Landcare Community Group Award. And we have Landcare Australia for the Coast Care Award. Thank you to the Australian Government, Woolworths, ACM, KPMG and Steadfast for your support as sponsors of these National Landcare Awards. We also have two other special awards being presented this evening. The General Jeffrey Soil Health Award in honour of the late General Jeffrey, Australia's first national soils advocate. I must say I was fortunate enough to go to Canberra and have some time with General Jeffreys in his office, and yeah, what a pleasure that was a few years ago, and what a joy that his legacy is carrying on through this award. And finally, Landcare's most prestigious award, the Bob Hawke Landcare Award. Yeah. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the independent judging panels for all the awards this evening. Thank you for volunteering your time. To commence our event this evening, I would like you all to please welcome Yvonne Weldon for the Welcome to Country. Hi, Yvonne.
Good evening, sisters and brothers. I stand before you in a building that stands on the land of Eora. I've grown physically on this land, but in my blood and always in spirit, I am Wiradjuri. As was said, my name is Yvonne Weldon and I am a sovereign woman. I come from Cowra here in New South Wales, from the waters of the Clare, which later became known as the Lachlan, and of the Murrumbidgee Rivers. I'm the elected Deputy Chairperson of the Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Land Council, who are the culture authority under the Aboriginal Land Rights Act for the land we're on. I would like to pay my respects to all elders past and present, to all First Nations, to you and the ancestors of the lands that you travelled from. A welcome to country is an age-old tradition. It is more than just words, it is a spiritual process by honouring the ancestors' footsteps we are all walking in. Continuing the practice of the many generations before us to the many generations to come. Our boundaries are written into the earth's natural landscapes. The boundaries of the Eora are the Hawkes River in the north, the Nepean in the west, and the Georges River in the south. On behalf of the Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Land Council, the elders, and the members, I welcome everyone to the land of the Gadigal. I acknowledge Gadigal people whose spirits and ancestors will always remain with this land, our Mother Earth. Across this beautiful continent of ours, we represent hundreds of nations, tribes and clans that have existed here for over 65,000 years. This country's First Nations people are the oldest living culture of the world. And as we're all joined here tonight and also online, let us all remember and acknowledge the many warriors that created pathways for all of us, the ones recognised and those we've never heard of. My people have always listened and learnt from each other, the environment, animals, elements, and our ancestors. We don't live in isolation of body, culture, spirit, land and water, because we are one, for in our blood it runs. We need to reflect upon the footprints and the footsteps we are all leaving to know where we're heading, shaping a society, a country we can be proud of. This year's NAIDOC theme was Get Up, Stand Up and Show Up. Think about this theme not just during a week, but in all of our steps that we take. Think about what you can do for my people, for Mother Earth, and what we can do for each other, whether it's for your friends, your families, or your networks, creating an inclusion, acceptance, and a resilience. All of us together can bring about positive changes to multiple generations. And as we ponder over the important milestones and points of changes in our lives, think about the difference you can and you are making today that will become the milestones of the future. Let's have a truth-telling in all our history, because we today are the future's history. So get it right today for tomorrow. So many of you, with your leadership and your nominations, you are leading for our Mother Earth, and you are and will make a major difference with or without the award. So let us all draw upon my people's spirits as we continue on our journey. May my people's spirits walk with you and guide you as we strive forward for us all. Again, on behalf of the Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Land Council, welcome to Gadigal land. This always was and always will be Aboriginal land. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
Yura. Hello everyone, we are Kumari, and what Kumari means is the people of New South Wales and Queensland, the Koris and the Murrays, coming together to deliver culture. So today we're going to be doing some songs all the way from North Stradbroke Island, from the Condamilka people, and this first song is called Yulu Baraba. And Yulu Baraba is the welcoming song to welcome the good Nura, the good spirit, and to welcome everybody here on this beautiful country that we call home. So this is Yolo Bariba. Gonna rap Malara, gonna berba, you're gonna rap Malara, gonna berba, you're gonna rap Alka, gonna morda, you're gonna rap Alka, gonna morda, Yuda. You're gonna rap Alka, gonna morda die. You're gonna rap Alka, gonna morda die. Yuda, you're gonna lay the door. Yuda, you're gonna lay Malara. Yuda, you're gonna lay the door. Yuda, you're gonna Thank you. So this next song and dance we'd like to do for everyone is called Metagimpa. And Metagimpa is the dance of the seagull. You see, the seagulls are the ones that taught us how to fish, as they would never attack the leader migration fish, as they were scared to lead the fish into deeper oceans. So Metagimpa teaches us to attack the center of the bait or the leader of the migration of fish, so it can stir it into a craze, and so we can sit there and fish all day. So this is Metagimpa, Metagimpa, dance of the seagull. Thank you. This next song and dance we'd like to do for you all is called Garrigan. And Garrigan is the dance of the white herring. See, once the white herring has finished feasting, he likes to do a playful dance to show that his belly is full. So this is Garrigan, dance of the white herring. Thank you. One more? Yo. Gary? Yo. This last dance that we'd like to do for everyone is called Garring and the Nami. Now, Garring and the Nami is a well-known Southeast Queensland and Northern New South Wales song that all of us used to come together at a special gathering called the Bunya Festival, which was held on the Sunshine Coast. And every 4 years we would come together, and this song is the song that we would do to welcome all the tribes from all across Southeast Queensland. So this is Garring and the Nami. Ona, Oda, Maro. Yo Garring in the Nami, Georgia Mopedono, Garring in the Nami, Garring in the Nami, Georgia Mopedono, Garring in the Nami, Georgia Mopedono, Garring in the Nami, Georgia Mopedono, Gaya Man Merangai, Gaya man medang gaya jagan gun ganyongo. Gaya man medang gaya jagan gun ganyongo. Gaya man medang gaya jagan gun ganyongo. Gareng in daname. Gareng in daname. Georgia mo perono. Gareng in daname. Ya Georgia mo perono. Go! Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We are Komari. Everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you all. In our language, we would like to say Yura. Everybody say Yura. Yura. What was it? Yura. Yura. Yes, Yura. Yes, thank you.
Sorry, my bad. Trying to get naked.
Oh,
Sorry, I was just trying to get naked.
that's all right. Yura. Wow, big thank you to Kumari dancers. Can we have a round of applause for them once again? What a great start to the evening. And also to Yvonne Weldon for the wonderful welcome to country. I was looking at the tree over there before and I thought I'd just share one pledge that I noticed. It says, I pledge to help people experience, understand and care for the lesser known and loved species and their important roles in the ecosystem. All the insects. Can everybody give me their best insect bug eyes, please? Thank you. Now, next up, it gives me great pleasure to welcome the Landcare Australia Chair, Doug Human, to say a few words of welcome to all of you here tonight. Doug? Oh, here he is. Hey, Doug.
What, no interpretive dance yet, Costa? We'll have to wait for that. I extend my thanks too to Yvonne, Tiger and the troop for that welcome. The words and your words, Yvonne, Tiger and the team are certainly vibrating through the room and through me, and I want to acknowledge that we are on Gadigal country, pay respects to elders past and present, and acknowledge that traditional lands have never been ceded. Costa very kindly made a number of welcomes and acknowledgements, and I won't repeat them, but he missed just one, and that was Costa. And the spontaneous applause tells the story. For those of you that haven't been at the conference or at other conferences where Costa MCs, he is a true ambassador for the Landcare movement, and it comes from his heart. If you saw him doing his interpretive dance earlier today, it comes from his legs as well. And he is a true gift to the Landcare movement. Thank you, Costa. I'm so pleased that Yvonne made reference to the NAIDOC theme, get up, stand up and show up, and I think that's what we're trying to do here at this conference and through the work of Landcare, so thanks for that reminder, Yvonne. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 2022 National Landcare Awards Gala Dinner, where tonight we're celebrating the incredible achievements of a diverse range of Landcarers from across Australia. I'm guessing that people are here tonight to celebrate achievement and looking at the dance floor to party. And I know a lot of you like to party at the end of this event. But also because we believe in innovation, in working together, and in our ability to achieve fantastic outcomes for agriculture and the environment, and to support Aboriginal land and sea management practices. We believe in our communities, our people, and our partnerships. And these are what we celebrate this evening. We believe in driving Australia towards a sustainable future, in being leaders and in the Landcare model as the blueprint for successful environmental work across the country. We're here because we believe in Landcare, and we should. For over 30 years, Landcarers like you have been achieving incredible success. Landcare Australia has been proud to support your success. enhanced through partnerships with the Australian Government and our corporate partners, many of whom are represented here and are supporting the awards, as Costa has mentioned. Through funding, networking, capacity building, information sharing and on-ground projects, Landcare Australia is beside you, aiding and encouraging your fantastic work every step of the way. As you work tirelessly to revegetate critical habitats devastated by bushfire, as you have worked diligently to protect vital waterways and coastlines from degradation, and as you have inspired the next generation of junior land carers to take action in their classrooms and in their homes for our environment. And it's brilliant work like this that we are celebrating here tonight. My special duty is to get the celebrations underway by sharing a video message from a dear friend of mine, the Honorary Linda Burney, MP, Minister for Indigenous Australians. Linda, as many of you know, has a particularly close connection to Landcare. Not only was her late partner, Rick Farley, who headed the National Farmers Federation, one of Landcare's founding fathers, but as a Wiradjuri woman, like all Indigenous Australians, she has a close and enduring connection to country. All of us here tonight know the importance of working and building relationships with traditional owners and traditional custodians and in Indigenous communities. They are the first land carers, and it's crucial that we learn from their expertise and elevate their voices to ensure the future of this country we all call home. I would like to extend a special welcome to all First Nations Australians here tonight, and although Linda is unable to be with us tonight, I'm delighted to present her video message. Thank you very much and have a great evening.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so sorry I can't be at your Gala Awards tonight. I hope everyone's having a wonderful, wonderful time. I have a very special place in my heart for Landcare. My late husband, Rick Farley, was one of the founders of Landcare, and it's always held a very, very special place for me. I'm on Ngunnawal and Ngambri country here in Canberra. I'd like to recognise the traditional owners where you all are and where all the winners tonight and the recipients, the nominees of the awards are from as well. Land and water is absolutely fundamental to Aboriginal culture. It gives us our way of being, it gives us our stories, it gives us our culture, and it also gives us our responsibility. The responsibility that we all have as humans living on this blue planet to the environment is something that you all understand. But can I thank Landcare for recognising the very important role that First Nations people have in looking after country. And I am so pleased that that's being more and more recognised. Have a wonderful night and congratulations to everyone that was nominated, and an extra big congratulations to all the winners this evening.
That was lovely to hear from Linda, and it's always interesting when you just learn something in the moment like that. After listening to where Rick Farley sits in the DNA of Landcare and hearing Andrew and others talk about him today, and Pam, and then to see that other connection, I didn't know that he had that connection with Linda. So it's lovely when you get those moments that just rattle you off your course a bit. So thanks for sharing that, Linda, and bringing me up to speed with just how far Landcare reaches. Now, Any of you would know I wake up every day to do things for children and for youth. You know how excited I was about the Next Gen forum that we had yesterday, bringing together youth, primary schools, high schools, right up to Christmas Island, to Noosa. We had people coming from everywhere. And it's just really special for me that the first award is the Junior Landcare Award. And there's just one little person in the crowd who was part of the Next Gen yesterday, and I was wondering if he could stand up on his chair. Spencer, where are you? Can anyone point him out? Where is he? Stand up, buddy. Can I have a big round of applause for Spencer? Spencer's 11 years old. He lives on the Sunshine Coast. He does not put his camera down for anyone. And he has it around his neck at the moment because he's been out today because I told him there's a powerful owl in the Botanic Gardens. If I told all 600 of you to go and find it, I guarantee none of you would. Spencer found it and photographed it. That's why I'm very happy, because we have a generation ready and willing and able and excited, and all we need to do is give them the leash and throw it and let them run. So Spencer, it's a pleasure to have you here at the awards dinner, buddy, and welcome. Landcare Australia is proud to have a partnership with Woolworths that supports them to distribute $4 million in the Woolworths Junior Landcare grants in early learning centres and primary schools around Australia. They're helping our young Australians learn about Landcare from a very young age. They're also involved this evening as sponsors of the Woolworths Junior Landcare Team Award. Now play a video so that you can hear more about the impact it's having on our young Australian Landcarers.
The Woolworths Junior Landcare grants really help children get hands-on learning about the natural environment and the important role they can play in being the next generation of environmental champions. Since the Woolworths Junior Landcare grants launched in 2018, more than 3,800 recipients have shared in over $4 million in funding, with the program having reached over 300,000 children.
The Woolworths Junior Landcare grant has allowed our school to expand our gardening club. It's allowed us to grow beautiful veggies and native edibles and medicinal plants, and our students in Year 5, 6 were able to design and create these garden beds behind me. They can see a plant grow and they can learn about the life cycle of a plant whilst at the same time growing themselves as a person. So the Woolworths Junior Landcare grant has allowed us to implement the science and technology outcomes to meet the wellbeing of our students as well. So it really has given us the ability to bring them outside. The outdoor classroom is always the best classroom.
It's helping me not only achieve my academic outcomes, it's really building a sense of community within our school as well. My little ones especially love getting their hands dirty, digging in the mud, finding those lovely little worms.
I love that it's outdoors and we get to have a bit of free time while we're still learning. I love finding worms and planting and watering the garden, and it's really fun.
I really like it because I really like nature and like forests. It makes me feel calm and at peace with like everything basically.
The important thing is about having a bush tucker garden. It's like part of my Aboriginal culture and it's First Nations food.
The Woolworths Junior Landcare grants are available to early learning centres and primary schools right across Australia. And these grants go to funding projects that are really focused on sustainable food production, improving waste management practices and enhancing native habitats.
The big picture has always been when it comes to sustainability and when it comes to greening our environment. If we can show them that it's not too hard to get your hands dirty, get into the soil and grow something beautiful, that helps them and their future.
So, to announce the finalists for the Woolworths Junior Landcare Team Award, could you please welcome Group General Manager, Climate and Environment, Fiona Walmsley.
Thank you. Thank you, Costa, for the welcome. What a pleasure to be here. Woolworths is extremely proud to support this award as part of our commitment to a greener future. This year, we awarded Woolworths Junior Landcare grants to 1,054 primary schools and early learning centres to support and inspire hands-on learning among children about our natural environment and the important role that they can play in its future. Since our Woolworths Junior Landcare Grants program started in 2018, we've now been able to invest more than $4 million in grant funding to support 3,814 grants, helping kids all across the country to get hands-on with nature. We couldn't be prouder at Woolworths, so thank you. But we couldn't be prouder at Woolworths to support this new generation of environmental champions who are finding creative ways to make a sustainable impact in their schools and communities. And the 2022 Woolworths Junior Landcare Team Award finalists are Ivanhoe Central School from New South Wales, Guardian Childcare and Education St Clair from South Australia, Forest Crescent Primary School from Western Australia, Wynyard High School from Tasmania, Tempe Primary School from Victoria, North Ainslie Public School and PNC from the ACT, and Manyalluck School from the Northern Territory. Each state finalist submitted impressive award nominations, and in recognition of their efforts, each will be receiving a $500 Woolworths gift card as a token of our appreciation. And now for the winner. After some careful consideration, it is my great pleasure to announce that the National Woolworths Junior Landcare Team Award winner is Ivanhoe Central School from New South Wales. Ivanhoe. Thank you. Ivanhoe Central School's successful Outback Adventure Farm is an inspiring example of a collaborative community program that engages both the students and wider school community. Through the project, which encompasses sustainable living and healthy food choices, students have been encouraged to be involved in all aspects of the farm, from basic planting and picking at the kindergarten level to more advanced mathematical equations, solutions, nutrition and building associated with running any farm enterprise. We commend Ivanhoe Central School on their achievement and the connections that have been made to food production and the local environment through their efforts. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I didn't expect to be standing here tonight, but I used to be a Boy Scout, so I'm prepared. We're a very small school in a very remote location in the centre of New South Wales. We've got around 30 students from kinder to year 12. And this award is for our Outback Adventure Farm, which is a couple of acres of intensive organic horticulture, aquaculture and poultry. It's lovingly cared for to be a place of wonder and vitality for our students. It was made possible through the vision of our principal and the labour and love of students and staff at our school. Our school farm provides an engaging platform within which learning about living things and caring for our country occurs. It also gives students and staff a sense of pride in our school and in our ability to produce food for ourselves and for our community. On behalf of the students and staff of Ivanhoe Central School, thank you for this award.
A great group of people working towards the same goal can achieve great things.
Ivanhoe is a town of about 200 people, 200 kilometres north of Hay in that direction, Broken Hill in that direction, Cobar in that direction. And in between us and those towns there isn't very much.
Our Outback Adventure Farm, it drives our teaching and learning within the classroom.
It's all part of trying to make school real, really, you know, and make it important and meaningful to the students. It's like the principal and the teachers, they really want to try and create a really meaningful experience for these kids, you know.
And it's all about thinking about, you know, how can we use everything that we've got? So a weed's not a weed. A weed's either chook food or compost. Fish poo, that's not waste, that's liquid compost, so we know where it's come from, we know what's on it, and then we know what we're serving up to people on the plate.
And look what they've done with the resources that they've had and a bit of community help, and they've started this themselves, and they're really remote here, so if they can do it here, you can do it anywhere.
Kids know how to look after their environment. That's a really big thing. They now have the knowledge and skills to go and make a change.
Big congratulations to Ivanhoe Central School. But you know what, everybody? Looking down that camera there are a lot of school students that would be up watching the awards right now. So we have the winners, Ivanhoe Central School. We have Guardian Childcare and Education St Clair, who are in South Australia, Forest Crescent Primary School from Western Australia, Wynyard High School in Tassie, Tempe Primary School from Victoria, North Ainslie Public School in the ACT, and Manyalaluk School from the Northern Territory. Now, what I want you to do is for all the girls and boys and all the students who are at home, I want to do a, oh yeah, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to start over here. I want you to start quietly and follow me. That was a good test run. So girls and boys and all you students from all the schools and all the other schools that are doing amazing Landcare projects, this is for you from everyone here. You ready over here? Here we go. Fantastic. Well done to all of you and your teachers and your volunteer garden experts and everyone in your local Landcare groups. You have done so well. So now I would like to welcome Karen Walsh from the Australian Government Department of Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry. Karen is going to announce 3 Australian Government Awards. Welcome, Karen.
Thank you, Costa, and good evening, everyone. The Australian Government, through the National Landcare Program, is proud to support the National Landcare Conference and this evening's National Landcare Awards. The Landcare Awards acknowledge and celebrate the individuals, groups, and organisations working to protect local ecosystems that contribute to the sustainability and productivity of our land and water assets for the benefit of all Australians today and for generations to come. It is inspiring to see the diverse range of award finalists and their landcare projects across Australia. Now to the 3 Australian Government Landcare Award categories. The first award is the Australian Government Partnerships for Landcare Award. This acknowledges a partnership of individuals, groups, networks or organisations that have demonstrated leadership and achievement in landcare-related activities as a result of a partnership. The Australian Government Partnership for Landcare Award finalists are the Australian Association of Bush Regenerators from New South Wales, Barossa Bush Gardens from South Australia, Moore Catchment Council and the Yude Community of Moora from Western Australia, Derwent Estuary Program from Tasmania, Northern Yarra Landcare Network in partnership with Vic Roads from Victoria, ACT Healthy Waterways Partnership, Southern ACT Catchment Group, Ginninderra Catchment Group, Molonglo Conservation Group and the ACT Government from the ACT, Anandili Yakwa Land Council Land and Sea Rangers and South 32 GEMCO from the Northern Territory. And finally, World Environment Day by Sunshine Coast Environment Council from Queensland. It is my pleasure to announce that the Australian Government Partnerships for Landcare Award winner is the Australian Association of Bush Regenerators.
Thank you. I think we're supposed to have a photograph taken. Yeah.
The Australian Association of Bush Regenerators has been recognised for its outstanding efforts around its first aid for the Bernard Bushland Initiative. Many ecosystems across Australia were severely impacted from the 2019-20 bushfires due to the effects of prolonged drought. While extensive areas of vegetation are recovering well, others remain in trouble. Supported by a range of sponsors, the AABR developed resources, including videos and webinars, to provide guidance for assisting in the recovery of bushland and matched experienced bush regenerators to sites in need. Congratulations.
I'm chuffed, well and truly chuffed. Yeah. Thank you. First of all, thank you to the sponsors, the Australian Government and all the other sponsors of the Landcare Awards tonight. Arbor, like Landcare, relies on volunteers to achieve our aims, and accordingly, Landcare is a natural ally of Arbor. So we were so happy to be able to work with Landcare and deliver the much needed information and also help to people who are in the areas that have suffered from bushfires. And we hope that this is the first of many long associations with Landcare. I should also give special mention to the Foundation for National Parks and Wildlife Service, who sponsored the project. And also I'd like to give special thanks to Landcare at all levels. Landcare, the spectrum of Landcare from national to state to local groups is a critical partnership for environment groups everywhere. So thank you.
Now on to the second Australian Government Award. This is the Australian Government Landcare Farming Award. This acknowledges an individual, group, network or organisation that has demonstrated excellence and leadership in implementing sustainable and integrated land management practices on a farm property or properties that protect soils, water, vegetation and biodiversity. The award also recognises practices that deliver improved natural resource management and farm productivity outcomes. The Australian Government Landcare Farming Award finalists are Martin Royds from New South Wales, Agriculture Kangaroo Island from South Australia, Sylvia Leighton and Peter McKenzie from Western Australia, Tim Reid, Wenlock Enterprises from Tasmania, Jill and Andrew Stewart from Victoria, Mount Majura Vineyard from the ACT, Desert Fruit Company from the Northern Territory, and Nadia and Robert Campbell from Queensland. It is my pleasure to announce that the Australian Government Landcare Farming Award winners are Sylvia Leighton and Peter McKenzie from Western Australia. This dynamic sustainable farming duo have undertaken incredible landcare work on Willan Pools Farm, a 1,200 hectare property near Wellstead on the south coast of Western Australia. Using their wealth of scientific knowledge and experience in biology, ecology, community landcare and soil science, Sylvia and Peter have transformed Willan Pools Farm into locally recognised haven for biodiversity. The highly productive farm now boasts thriving wildlife corridors connecting to the remnant bush comprised of, I'm going to say this incorrectly, Kwongan shrubland, swamp banksia and Yate woodland communities. Congratulations.
Thank you. We're just so surprised. We're very humble people from a very isolated rural place, really, in a very, very small rural community. But we have had so many role models and so many supportive people around us. We just thank everybody and thank you. Congratulations to all the other nominees. We all deserve this award. Thank you to Louise Duxbury, who's always backed us, nominated us, and we're just blown away. But thank you to everybody.
I'd just like to thank our First Nations people for teaching us and leading us and showing us the better way to do things, including farming.
The final Australian Government Award is the Individual Landcarer Award that acknowledges the significant contribution made by an individual who has demonstrated outstanding leadership and commitment to landcare. There are many people who, through their actions, have had a positive impact on improving land management practices through practical on-ground activities and by creating awareness of landcare in their local community. All the finalists are Landcare champions, and I want to thank them all for their long-term contribution to landcare and their communities. The Australian Government Landcarer Award finalists are Julie Hostog from New South Wales, Liz Milner from South Australia, Margaret Moir from Western Australia, Todd Dudley from Tasmania, Don Rowe from Victoria, Deb Kellick from the ACT, Doris Bayliss from the Northern Territory, and Walter Marr from Queensland. It is my pleasure to announce that the Australian Government Individual Landcarer Award winner is Walter Marr from Queensland. Walter has been a dedicated landcarer for over 40 years and has undertaken impressive landcare work both on his own property and within his community. Since the 1970s, Walter and his wife Heather have restored their remote 25-hectare degraded property back to its original rainforest habitat, protecting the land into perpetuity as Blue Fig Creek Nature Refuge. He also serves as the coordinator of Austinville Landcare and the president of Watergum, the umbrella group for the landcare groups in the Gold Coast region. Together with both groups, he has launched countless impactful projects, including restoration of the Austinville Rock Pools, the Gold Coast Bio Blitz, and the Gold Coast Biggest Tree Planting Day. Congratulations to Queensland's Walter Marr, and thank you to all of the finalists and winners of the Australian Government Landcare Awards for your impressive commitment to the environment, sustainable land management, and your communities. Thank you.
Thank you to the sponsors, thank you to the Australian Government, thank you to Landcare, thank you to QWALT, and thank you for the people who nominated me. I'm from Coomberry country. In First Nations times, there was paradise on earth. If you've been to Surfers Paradise, it's the Gold Coast basically. If you've been to Surfers Paradise, there's Fernie Avenue, there's Elkhorn Avenue, there's Staghorn Avenue. That's because it was rainforest that rivaled Fraser Island. It also had heathland, it had huge wetlands with teeming with birds, woodlands, rainforest. Unfortunately now, it's also called White Shoe Country. As a kid in the 60s, a barefoot kid in the 60s, we didn't wear shoes to school then. I saw the sand mining, I saw the wetlands being turned into canal estates. I saw the development just keep going. So at 19, I made a strategic retreat, bought my property in the hinterland. In the last 45 years, Heather and I have restored it. We've learnt the skills to bush regeneration. We've knocked off the foxes to bring back the potoroos and the bandicoots. And we couldn't have done all that in our lifetime without the support. We often think of Gold Coast City as pretty bad, but they've got a really good green heart as well. And without the support of Todd and the private partnerships guys, and Paul Donachew and Healthy Land and Water, we wouldn't have achieved what we've achieved. 17 years ago, we started Optimal Landcare. We've raised $1.5 million. We've given most of that to national parks. They don't have a lot of money. We've restored an old soldier settlement scheme. We've put in fire trails. We're going to start with the motivation of reading Victor Stephenson's book. We're really keen to start the cultural burning practices again. And we've formed this, I never expected it, but the community and the lifelong friends we've formed through that process is unreal as well. And finally, a very exciting part of my life is Watergum. In Queensland, we don't get state government support. We get QWOP insurance, but that's about it. We've got to stand on our own 2 feet. And Watergum is a not-for-profit charity. We're the umbrella group for groups on the coast, but we made a decision to become a business, and we've been through the furnace the last 2 years. We were one person. We put on this amazing Dutch chick called Rosalind. And how would I describe her? She's hyper-productive and very authentic. And we formed, in the last 2 years, we've really grown. We're 10 people now. And we make our own money. We've got a management team, and that's probably what I'm most proud of, is we've got Heather, who's a chartered accountant. We've got Rose, who's the ultimate manager. We've got Emily, who's just the ultimate communicator. She gets on the Sunrise, she gets on ABC. And an old business guy, me, making the team. And we've been through the furnace and grown that organisation so we're independent. We can pay our people the right amount of money, and we can actually bring all that surplus money into the environment. Well, I'm proud that there's 3 things. There's Bluefig Creek, our nature refuge. There's Optimal Landcare, and there's Watergum. And with the State of Environment report, they said we're going backwards. But in areas where Landcare is effective, we're going forwards. And I'm really, yeah. And we're going forward in Bluefig Creek. We're going forward in Optimal Landcare. We're going forward in Watergum, 100%. And that's our job. I'm a simple person. We've got 2 goals. We've got to have that reverence for country, that love of country, that love of repairing country. We've got to bring that up as a society. As the First Nations people, as our new integrated society, we've got to bring that to the same level as our worship and our subservience to the economy. So country and economy have got to be equal. Country can't be that much lower. So on that note, I really thank you, and I put that challenge to our community.
Thank you, Walter. I think the thing we need to recognise tonight is that the winners, and every nominee was the winner in their state. So to all you nominees, congratulations. Big congratulations in every award category. You are doing amazing things. And Walter, thank you for sharing your story of what you and Heather have done since the 70s and putting your heart on the sleeves, and just throwing away that we raised $1.5 million. Yeah, that was just by the way. Sylvia and Peter, you are not just doing something out on a remote place. You are an example for all of us. And Peter Dixon and Virginia. What you might know is Virginia Bear, who was with Peter, she's the one who puts together all the videos that are the compelling evidence to get our story out there. So to all you videographers, to all you social media people, to you storytellers that get it out there, thank you. You're recognised. Now, before Karen left, I just wanted to say a few special words of thanks, Karen, for your passionate support for Landcare and working across a large number of organisations, including not just Landcare Australia, but to help deliver the National Landcare Conference and National Landcare Awards this week. Karen is leaving Landcare, and I'd like to acknowledge the work that you've done to support Landcare. You've had an impact on supporting many organisations do great work because of your work. Thank you. Now we've got one more award before dinner, and then dinner will be served. The next award honours Australia's first National Soils Advocate, General Jeffrey. As Australia's first National Soils Advocate, General Jeffrey passionately advocated for improvements in the health of our agricultural landscape. By championing soil health from Parliament House to the paddock, he successfully changed attitudes towards soil sustainability and energised change on farms right around Australia. He relentlessly pursued his focus on the importance of integrated management of soil, water, animals and plants to the benefit of all Australians and our environment. To announce the finalists and winner of the General Jeffrey Soil Health Award, please welcome the National Soils Advocate, the Honourable Penny Wensley. Welcome, Penny.
Good on you.
No worries.
Thank you, Costa, for the warm welcome. As Australia's National Soils Advocate, it's an absolute privilege to present the 2022 General Jeffrey Soil Health Award. I begin by conveying greetings and apologies from General Jeffrey's widow, Marlena Jeffrey, and other members of his family who are unable to be with us this evening. This very special national award was established by my office in 2020 to honour both the memory and the legacy of Australia's first advocate for soil health, renamed in 2019 as the National Soils Advocate, the late Major General, the Honourable Michael Jeffrey, AC. As you've just heard, and Michael is much missed by all of us, General Jeffrey championed the cause of soils right across Australia. He worked tirelessly to raise awareness of the value of soil, of the importance of healthy soil, and of the need to restore and conserve Australia's soils to secure our national prosperity. Pursuing change in farming practices and land management, advocating for that integrated management of soil, water, plants and animals that Costa described to improve soil health and deliver both productivity and environmental benefits became the central feature of his work. This award, in his name, recognises an individual's outstanding work to improve and promote soil health, someone whose efforts are making a real difference, informing and inspiring others. The award includes a $20,000 prize to assist the recipient to continue their work. I'm pleased to inform you that the finalists, all of whom are with us tonight, are Roger Grucock, an innovative farmer from South Australia. Roger has dedicated more than 40 years to pioneering ways that help improve the health and productivity of soils across the country. His commitment to sharing knowledge has resulted in the improved health and productivity of tens of thousands of hectares of sandy soils across southern and Western Australia. Thank you, Roger. The second Shortlisted finalist is Dr. Oliver Knox, Soil Health Champion, Educator and Researcher from New South Wales. Dr. Knox has been instrumental in driving the Soil Your Undies soil health program in Australia, adapting the idea from an educational campaign for farmers in Canada. The program has reached over 12,000 young Australians and many farmers through fun and engaging citizen science. Oliver has worked extensively with land managers in the cotton production areas of Australia, as well as reintroducing soil biology into the undergraduate syllabus at the University of New England. Thank you, Oliver. And our final shortlisted nominee was Professor John McLean Bennett, soil scientist from Queensland. John has had an influential career serving in soil research leadership roles and conceiving the Recognised Soil Practitioner program to provide professional development in soil management. Thank you, John. And now to the recipient of the 2022 award. General Jeffrey attached, as many of you will know, particular importance to educating young people about soil and the multiple services healthy soils provide to the community. I'm therefore delighted to announce that the 2022 General Jeffrey Soil Health Award recipient is Dr. Oliver Knox.
What my job involves is, I guess, education. It's engagement, whether that's with school groups right through to farmers, with anyone that wants to learn about soils. What I love particularly about what I do is Australia has a very different climate, has very different soils, they're much more weathered. So we have to tell different stories about our soils here in Australia. My career has gone from working in Scotland, being involved in the British Soil Science Societies, coming to Australia and the cotton industry and joining the Australian Soil Science Society, having a great time exploring soils. So in 2014 I had the opportunity to come back to Australia and the University of New England. Basically soil biology had fallen right out of the undergraduate syllabus. I think quite often when we look at soil biology and we think about it in our educational setting, we actually receive a lot of training in it in other areas. And I think a lot of universities are making that leap to say we need to bring these disparate areas and bring them back to where they have a home, in the soil, and start there to kindle our students' love for biology in that soil setting. I run workshops, I do farmer engagement, I co-learn with them. They tell me what soil health means to them, and we deliver the research and science to support them in trying to improve their soil management. My time in the cotton industry, I've worked across a range of different projects. What we're doing has relevance to what growers are experiencing, either in the environment through climate change or through the management of their soils. A colleague comes back from a Nuffield scholarship and says, I've just heard of this project in Canada called Soil Your Undies. What do you think? And I was like, oh, this is genius. The experiment's really simple. You take a pair of cotton underpants, you bury it 5 centimetres deep, you cover it back over and you leave it for 8 weeks. If your soil is biologically active, if you're thinking it as being nice and healthy, all that you get back is your elastic and your polycotton stitching. If they come out and you could give them a shake and put them back on, you probably need to be giving your soil some love. We started about 30 farmers. We stuck it into one of our undergraduate units here. Through UNE Discovery and UNE Smart Farms, we formed a partnership with Cotton Info, and we basically went out to the schools. We reckon we've got out to 500,000 Australians probably. We've engaged with over 1,000 classrooms. Somehow the Australians have just embraced it. Just to think that the work I've been doing has gotten to the stage now where it has that impact, it's had that reach, that people are aware of the work we've been doing in soil health, soil sustainability, soiling our undies, all of these great things. It's a thrill, it really is a thrill. For me as an educator, for someone who's asking people to soil their undies, I still think there's opportunity to growth and to improve our understanding of soils. And I think the way we do that is we have to actually start thinking about how do we embed it in our education. So here in Australia, we're really fortunate. Yes, we have a national soil strategy. We have an advocate for soils as well, which is incredible. And even at the World Soil Congress happening in Glasgow at the moment, that's being recognised. Australia's being applauded for it. And I will continue to do what I can, whether it's soiling underpants, writing scientific papers, or just having field days. We all have a responsibility to our soils and our soil health. And I think the more we all do, the more likely we are to actually see a fantastic future for Australia and our soils. Thank you. I'll try not to knock that off there. Wow was the first thing I think I'm thinking, and thank you to Landcare for looking after the award. I too would like to acknowledge the fact that the work I do takes place on the lands of many First Nations peoples, and I learned from them, and I'm so appreciative of it. It wouldn't be possible without them. I'd like to pay tribute to my fellow finalists. They both do some incredible work, and it's a shame there's only one of these to go around, I think, is the problem. But more on that later. I'd also like to pay tribute to Major General Jeffries for establishing this award. It's a brilliant thing to have this legacy that Australia is so invested in its soil health. Penny earlier started off with the good news and the bad news, and I think I'd like to keep that sort of running a little bit, because there is some bad news. November the 13th will be a really big day this year. Do you guys know why? 8 billion people will be living on this finite lump of rock. I think that's actually something to be almost scared of rather than to looking forward to. But there is some good news. The good news is you guys, Landcare, are incredible. Your ability to engage with your stakeholders and deliver that kind of impact is just phenomenal. And to me, that really brings up that hope again, that hope that things can still get better and that we can still look after this world. The fact that we have a national soil strategy as well is also brilliant. But as was said earlier, it's calling out for us to do more about embedding our soil and making our soil science better. But that can only happen if it's funded. Landcare will only continue if it continues to be funded. And as Professor Andrew Campbell said earlier, we've got to stop robbing Peter to pay Paul. We need the support. There are global challenges right now, which if science is going to make a difference to, if we're going to make a difference to, we're going to need help and support. And some of that's going to have to be financial. We are motivated and passionate. We need the support. So as my nan always used to say, don't be afraid to ask. And at that point, I should say, please give me some money so I can do some work. But I'm actually going to say, I've brought along a little something for this evening. And I was just going to ask Costa, it's not a case of will you soil your undies, it's a case of when will you soil your undies. Thank you very much.
More than 90% of our flora and fauna is endemic to Australia, and many of the predatory arthropods, so they're the insects and spiders, are also endemic, and they've co-evolved with those plants. Those plants are fantastic in their own right because they provide habitat through shelter and nectar and pollen to be able to nourish those insects and spiders. I am really passionate about the work that I do. It's science-based, so I've spent time studying those relationships. I'm always looking for ways that we can incorporate the intelligence of nature so that we can work smarter rather than harder, and we're building resilience into our production systems. One of the challenges that we've faced traditionally when we've perhaps grown vineyards is that they're a monoculture. They tend to be really poorly buffered. You might have pests, weeds and insects that dominate. So what we're wanting to do is build resilience into those production systems by creating a polyculture, a diversity of different species. What we're doing is we're removing those introduced species and we're replacing them with functional native plants. We find that these native insectary plants provide multiple benefits, ecosystem services, both above ground and also underground. I'm really excited whenever I go into one of our eco vineyards. We're not having to spray chemicals in terms of biocontrol of insect pests. It improves nutrient cycling, it helps build soil structure, traps soil carbon back in the soils, water infiltration. We always draw from the local plant community list, and then we incorporate those plants both in and around the vineyard. And as soon as they start flowering, we're able to then start assessing the arthropods found in association. Landcare have been absolutely fundamental in my capacity to bring eco vineyards to the broader audience to date. Quite simply, if there hadn't been funding available over the last 3 years, there wouldn't be an eco vineyards program. We're going to take the model that has worked really well in South Australia and then work in at least 10 wine regions all over Australia, and we'll be setting up 4 demonstration sites in each of those regions. So we'll be able to share regionally specific knowledge to a wider grower base. I think we're at the most exciting time, certainly in my career, because we're now coming full circle and we're starting to understand how important ecology is, and that marriage where you have agroecology. I feel that there's an absolute urgency to make change. You know, we've got a very limited time to be able to perhaps restore some of these ecological systems. But I'm so excited because there's so many growers on the ground who are actively participating in ecological restoration.
She's a visionary in the wine industry as well as in productive agricultural landscapes. And she's brought a lot of her own personal passions for the benefit of our overall industry and what will ultimately be the biodiversity benefits of our Australian landscape.
Well, there you go, everyone. I hope you're enjoying your meal. I've got here in my hand the original 1990 National Landcare Awards dinner program. And I'm not sure what you had for entree, but on here, back then in 1990, it was a fresh tropical fruit cocktail. You reckon you would have dug into that?
Absolutely.
Now for the main course, there was no choice. It wasn't fish or chicken. It was just a fillet of beef with fresh button mushrooms served with vegetables in season, and there were vegetarian meals served on request. So you can see that the food side of things has advanced in that time. Where would you describe this table's from? Which state?
New South Wales predominantly, but you were a state of people from everywhere.
Everywhere. Can I hear a bit of a cheer? Have we got any interstaters nearby? Where are you from?
A.
CT. Oh, New South Wales. What's that?
Chips and Devon.
Chips and Devon. That's going to be on next year's award. Okay. Oh, that's me on the big screen. I'll turn and face the camera. And they finished with the Australian cheese and water crackers, coffee and petit fours. So I think, and there was orange juice, white wine, red wine and beer. Slightly more humble selections to what we've had on the table tonight. All right, let's move on with the official proceedings. The video you last saw was one of the nominees, one of the finalists for the Bob Hawke Landcare Award. So we will be putting them through the next couple of awards so you can meet the finalists before that's presented right at the end. So next up, I'd like to invite Linda Ellis from the Steadfast Group. She's Company Secretary and Corporate Counsel, and she's going to announce the nominees for the Steadfast Young Landcare Leadership Award. Once again, anyone watching at home, let's see who has been nominated for this. So please welcome Linda Ellis. Sorry, Linda, I'll just take my undies. After you.
Thanks, Costa. I wish you were still wearing them. I thought that was fabulous.
Yeah, I got a little bit of stick. There was people saying just take them off. I disagreed, but anyway.
You've got to fly them now. Thank you very much for having us here this evening. I'm here with a group of my colleagues from Steadfast, and we're really just delighted to be here. What a friendly, passionate bunch. It's really very wonderful evening. We at Steadfast think we're very fortunate to be supporting this prize tonight. We think it's the most important prize of the night because it's all about showcasing the young people who are building a better future. We're really inspired by their energy, by the wonderful commitments that they have towards protecting the environment and harnessing all the community support that they do. The Steadfast Young Landcare Leadership Award acknowledges an individual or group between the ages of 15 and 35 who promote excellence in landcare through on-ground projects, including awareness-raising activities. The award is open to Landcare champions who can demonstrate their capacity to lead and to encourage the wider community to engage and participate in managing the environment and using the natural resources in their local area. So the Landcare Young Leadership Award finalists are Young Farmers Connect from New South Wales, Owen Connor Harris from Queensland, Sharif Nuzai from South Australia, Jason Sekon from Western Australia, Yati Winoto Lewin from Tasmania, Tez Greaves from Victoria, and Fred McGrath-Weber from the ACT. It's now my pleasure to announce that the National Steadfast Young Landcare Leadership Award winner is Yanti Winoto Lewin from Hobart, Tasmania. "25-year-old Eco Yanti has been recognised for her outstanding efforts to protect Tasmania's unique ecosystems, connect communities to natural places and foster respect for the environment. Yanti established the group Friends of the Franklin Forest in 2020 while in her final year of a plant science and geography degree at the University of Tasmania. The group's main activities are stewarding an area of forest, introducing people to the area and teaching about its ecology. Thanks to their efforts, an area of the forest that provides core habitat for threatened species, such as the masked owl and the swift parrot, have now been protected from felling for several years. The group is working to make that a permanently protected zone.
Thank you so much. I'm quite overwhelmed. Friends of Franklin Forest, which is the group that I've been working with and started, has been a fantastic experience in connecting with a group of people who really care about a place and had the opportunity through the work of me and my friends to discover some amazing ecosystems in their backyards which they didn't know were like remnant old growth forests, which they didn't know were still in existence, so close to their homes. And we have really been wanting to help people connect to their landscape and feel that they have a place in that landscape. It's not something that needs to be separate from us, like a lot of the language around conservation often is, not in Landcare, but in other areas of conservation. We want people to feel like they can really be at home in landscapes, in natural remnant ecosystems, that to think that humans are against these landscapes, these ecosystems, is really an insult to the 10,000 years plus of relationship which many cultures have had with landscapes sustainably in Australia and throughout the world. So we want to foster this feeling of connection to landscapes. So that's what we've been trying to do, and that's what we hope to continue to do. And yeah, thanks.
Well, congratulations, Yanti. And I don't know about you, but when you see that level of exuberance and enthusiasm and vision and drive in our youth from all of these nominees, Young Farmers Connect, Young Owen, Sharif, Jason, Tess and Fred, like we've been talking in different sessions over the last 2 days about succession. And what we see there in the Steadfast Young Landcare Leadership Award is that succession right there living. So a big round of applause for all of those state winners. Congratulations to those state winners, and of course to Yanti, who took out the national award. Fantastic. Now, a big thank you there to Linda Ellis from Steadfast. And now I'd like to welcome Victor Stephenson from Fire Sticks Alliance, who some of you may have gone to his session earlier today. It was one of those sessions that if you didn't see it, have a look at it on the Landcarer portal, the website, when it goes up, because this was a talk about soil, it was a talk about treading lightly. There was a lot in there, and it's not for me to paraphrase now other than to say, Victor, it's a pleasure to have you here at the Landcare Conference, and please put your hands together and welcome Victor Stephenson. Thank you, Victor. I'd now like to welcome Richard Bell from KPMG Australia to announce the finalists and the winner of the KPMG Indigenous Land Management Award. Welcome, Richard. Pleasure.
How cool is it that I get to present this award? Come on, how cool is this award category? Thank you, Costa, for the welcome. KPMG is, and I am personally honoured to have had the relationship, the partnering that we have had with Landcare Australia now for over 6 years. It's primarily through volunteering and conservation projects, but also very proud of the report that KPMG and Landcare Australia published together titled Building Resilience in Local Communities. The research confirmed and quantified the mental health benefits from participating in Landcare around Australia. And particularly proud because that was actually a project that I led with an incredibly talented team from KPMG. Tonight, very pleased to extend our relationship by sponsoring the KPMG Indigenous Land Management Award and promoting the significant effort of the First Nations organisations working with Landcare volunteers. The KPMG Indigenous Land Management Award acknowledges an outstanding Indigenous community group or individual that's working towards improving land use and who are enhancing or protecting an area on behalf of the community. The KPMG Indigenous Land Management Award finalists are Nari Tribal Council from New South Wales, Laura Indigenous Land and Sea Rangers from Queensland, Mark Kumatri from South Australia, Undulup Wadandi Rangers Program from Western Australia, Rosny Mob from Tassie, and Wiradjuri Wariwarong Cultural Heritage from Victoria. There we go. Come on, we can do louder than that, I'm sure. Karen Denny from the ACT. Ah, love the whistle. Come on, let's hear some more whistles on this last one. Yipair Enya, Nature Park Traditional Owner Group from the Northern Territory. This side of the room is really strong on the whistles. What's happening over here? Come on, let's hear it. It is my pleasure. It is my pleasure to announce that the National KPMG Australia Indigenous Land Management Award is... Where have I written it down? No, I'm just pulling your leg there. Sorry about that. It's the Wiradjuri Wariwarong Cultural Heritage from Victoria.
Are they here or not?
Andrew McLean from Landcare Victoria, could you come up please, and so I can present the award on behalf of the group to you? Oh, they're coming, they are. say, I've got a little script to read and then say a few words. Right. All right. That's all right, make it up, that's what I do. I think we've got the audience worked up, so you can just go for it. So just give me a moment. All right. I'm buying some time so they can work out what to say. Completely surprised. Now, Victoria's Wiradjuri Warriwarong Cultural Heritage Aboriginal Corporation Ngurup team cares for country by blending conventional environmental conservation and land management methods with Wurundjeri cultural practices. They're currently one of the only traditional owner groups within Australia delivering natural resource management services in the open market. Due to their incredible work and demand for their services, the current team of 20 full-time employees, all with Cert 3 in conservation land management, is expected to grow to 40?
40 very soon.
40. That's incredible. 40. Growth. And how's that for the open market valuing traditional knowledge? Yeah, I think that's just extraordinary. So they hope that their work will inspire young Aboriginal people across Australia to pursue a future in conservation and land management and make commitment to restoring and managing the health of country. And now, please, a few words.
Thanks, everyone. Very unexpected. A few people we can thank later, but the unit, Ngurup Rangers, was set up to basically look after our own few properties that the corporation has. Back in 2009 or 12, I wasn't around at that stage, but 4 years ago I came in and changed it up, and we wanted to compete in the open market, create ongoing, meaningful opportunities for Wurundjeri people and other Aboriginal people, offer them full-time work along with all the training to be able to manage country. So it's not just about caring for country, managing our country and restoring it, it's also healing our people. So as a Wurundjeri elder myself, I just want to be able to work with our younger generation and help heal them as well as heal country in the best way we can. Thanks.
Community and country is a big thing for me, and I believe the only way we can look after our country is if we do have strong and vibrant communities. It's been a long journey for me, pretty much a 35-year career in ag. We started in 1994 by changing our grazing methods. That showed us that by using a tool very differently, you could actually achieve greater diversity and mass of your natural assets while still actually getting a better business result. And so that was a big indicator for our path that followed from there. Out of that came no-kill cropping, which was our new systemic approach to growing crops within grasslands and not taking away any of the diversity. Across our paddocks, we now very often see 100 or more species identifiable at any one time in a paddock, and that's on the grass level alone. No-kill cropping is one of our proudest achievements here because of its scalability across grasslands, not only in Australia but around the world. So it actually provides an opportunity for you to grow crops within a grassland without eliminating plants, animals or other biology. Animal behaviour, that was a key part of grazing management that hadn't been really addressed quite so much. I co-developed self-herding. Self-herding is an exciting field because it's behaviourally based. So by us taking an active role in their behaviours, we can change their habits so that that over and underutilisation is changed and shifted across the whole landscape. We're seeing a range of really positive results in the rangelands, anything from fixing gully heads, working with Indigenous groups to keep wild feral animals away from culturally sensitive areas. Landcare for me is about community and country. Well, having been involved with our local Landcare groups, hosting over the years now many thousands of people, I think Landcare is a critical and a wonderful shining beacon because it is community driven. It's from the heart and the head. For me, it means that you get substantive results. The science is becoming increasingly clear that we are running up against the limits of our usage of natural resources. My vision would be for stronger results for country and community, and that unless we have systems that continue to drive an expansion of community involvement, then we aren't going to get the results that we would want in the landscape. We do live in exciting times in that there is a great groundswell of interest for fundamental change. It is a very rewarding and a privileged position that I have to be able to travel as much and interact with so many wonderful people across Australia that are genuinely interested in not only bettering themselves, but bettering their communities and the nation as a whole.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Richard. And a big congratulations to the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung Cultural Heritage Narrap Unit, and to all of you mob who are watching from so many different parts of the country, to each of you as winners of your state awards, to the Narranari Tribe Council in New South Wales, Laura, Indigenous Land and Sea Rangers up in Queensland, Mark Kulmatri in South Australia, the Undaluk Wadandi Rangers program in WA, the Rosnay mob in Tassie, Karen Denny in the ACT, and the Yipparinya Nature Park Traditional Owner Group in the NT. The work you're doing is amazing. I'm fortunate enough to travel and see the work on land, on sea, across all different types of landscapes, and it's wonderful to see not just your state victories, but your nominations at the national level. Big round of applause for all our nominees. Now, we have two senators who have joined us tonight, and they've formed the Parliamentary Friends of Landcare to promote the great work of all individuals, groups and organisations involved in Landcare. They are down in Canberra championing us. It was Landcare Week earlier this week, and Senator Ciccone read out a statement of support of Landcare to support the national campaign. Thank you, Senator. My people have just spoken. Oh, that's right. Yes, I've skipped one. It was going well. Until then, I felt like I had a good zest in that delivery for the senators, just to, you know, prime them. Anyway, we'll get back and I'll do it again. So, the team at ACM, on the other hand, cover many landscape stories across their vast media network. And a big thanks to them for promoting the great work and for the media support that they give Landcare. So I'd now like to please welcome Tony Kendall, the Australian Community Media Managing Director of ACM, to present the nominees for the Landcare Community Group Award. Thanks, Tony. Sorry for hanging you out to dry like those undies, mate. But yeah. Anyway, I didn't put you fire. You know what was it? You know, 50 mil under the soil. I kept you on the surface.
I thought I was actually going to say how much better is this than the Zoom awards from last year. You know, it was actually in person.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe the live awards aren't working so well for you. Yeah. Thank you very much, Costa. Australian community media have been involved with Landcare for over 20 years now. Our business is the trusted voice of news and information for millions of people across Australia through our 140 mastheads and 7 agricultural titles. Our content helps keep our communities strong, informed and connected. and we are proud to support Landcare Australia to communicate and share the stories of thousands of land carers across this country. The ACM Landcare Community Group Award acknowledges an outstanding community group that is working towards sustainable land use and undertaking on-the-ground action to protect, enhance or restore their local environment on behalf of the community. The ACM Landcare Community Group Award finalists are, and I'm going to throw a little bit of gratuitous plug into this as well, about some of our titles. The first finalists, and they're reminding that these are all state winners. From Queensland, just down the road from the Jimboomba Times, it's the Springfield Lakes Nature Care Incorporation. From New South Wales in Tamworth, home of the Northern Daily Leader, it's the Upper Mookie Landcare Incorporation. From the Northern Territory, home of the Katherine Times, it's the Roper River Landcare Group. From Western Australia, served by the amazing publication Farm Weekly, we have the Katanning Landcare. From Tasmania, again just down the road from the Launceston Examiner, is the Seymour Community Action Group Incorporated. From Victoria, home of the Stock and Land, it's the Newham and District Landcare Group. From the ACT, home of our flagship title, the Canberra Times, it's the Friends of Mount Majura. And finally, from South Australia, home of the Stock Journal, it's the Kanmantu Callington Landcare Incorporation. It's my great pleasure to announce that the winner of the National Australia Community Media Landcare Community Group Award is the Roper River Landcare Group from the Northern Territory. So unfortunately, the team from Roper River Landcare can't be here in Sydney this evening, so I'd like to invite Emily Rasso from Landcare Northern Territory to accept the award on their behalf. There you go. How are you? I think you're probably get a photo as well. We're going to do a photo.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Can I point to them?
Wish they could be here to speak as well, but the Roper River Landcare Group is a pastoral landcare group working to improve land and natural resources management across the Roper River catchment. The group is made up primarily of landowners, land managers and residents committed to monitoring, maintaining and improving the Roper River catchment and its natural values. RRLG has been especially committed to controlling neem, a highly invasive weed that is proliferated through Victoria River, Roper and Gulf districts and directly threatens the natural biodiversity of the region. Huge congratulations, which they were here, to all the finalists and the great impact you've had on the communities that you serve. Thank you very much. You know this? If you know them, say something.
On behalf of Roper River Landcare Group, thank you very much. I think this just represents what a lot of community-based groups, particularly rural, remote and in some cases very remote parts of Australia can do when people come together, they support each other and they have a passion for looking after the country and the place that they live in, but also looking after each other. So congratulations to Roper River. Thank you.
I suppose it develops over time, that love of the land and love of nature and love of biodiversity. it's just a feeling, and it just uplifts you. I have 50 years of farming experience. I've been passionate about agriculture my whole life, and I still am. There's a lot of knowledge around and terrific science around regenerative agriculture and organic farming, but people get stuck in the practical how-tos. And so I'm able to share the practicalities of making things work on the farm. I call our business Farm Mojo, because we want to raise vitality in people's land, but in the farmers themselves. I started in 1999, so that's 23 years ago now, and I've consulted to over 300 farms now, and it's just getting bigger. And I've worked from Cairns, sugarcane farmers around Townsville, cattle farmers in central Queensland. So we've created change on between 500 and 600,000 acres. And when you're getting the larger farmers, people with 10 or 20,000 acres, and suddenly they stop the erosion on their farm and their production starts to rise and their problems just start to disappear. When you create a healthy ecosystem, we know we've been improving soil dramatically. We can turn a hard soil into a soft soil in 2 to 3 years, pretty much in any region. We're working with Southern Cross University to document the changes that we can make to the soil. So we've got some hard evidence that, yes, this does work. It's not just a theory, it's not just a feel-good thing. It is actually a more profitable way to farm. I've been actively involved in Landcare since its inception, for over 35 years. And Landcare's journey of evolution and the development of ideas and the way it's become a more mature, thoughtful organisation, it's mirrored my own personal growth. I've been giving talks at Landcare groups since the inception. Quite often it's just been my story, a success story, how I controlled dry land salinity, for example. To be successful in agriculture, you've got to be part of a community. You really have to have support around you. Landcare is about a group of passionate land carers. And so they're already in the right philosophy. They're the people I want to work with, people who love their land, and it's what drives me. The last decade, we're seeing really extreme conditions and having crop failures in safe areas, and so we've got to become more resilient. Humans are supposed to nurture the earth, and sadly we're not. The earth's degrading. Our soils are degrading, we're losing our biodiversity, the whole system's collapsing, and it doesn't have to be that way. I know we can farm in a way that regenerates the earth, and I've been doing it myself for 30 years. There's a lot of really good farmers, and agriculture is changing. We can grow food and fibre in a way that nourishes the earth and improves the fertility and improves our environment. When I was about 20, I read a quote somewhere that said, if you want to create great change, don't expect to be acknowledged for it. And I've sort of lived my life that way. I've just been quietly working away underground, creating change, and it's just really wonderful to see so many people I work with really achieving great things in agriculture. So I suppose my legacy will be the successful farmers that I've been involved with and a healthy planet.
Just a little message to the Roper River Landcare group from my brother Clarence and I. Nunga bukmag yongol nini. Thanks. That's for you up there, mob. That's for your mob up there. Now, Groundhog Day. Let's go again. Thank you, Tony. Actually, you didn't need to do that, but I'll take it. Now, we have two senators, I don't know if you realise this, who, if you weren't up to speed, have formed a parliamentary Friends of Landcare. Yeah, to promote the great work of all individuals, groups, organisations that are doing anything in Landcare. And guess what? They're down in Canberra championing us. It was Landcare Week earlier this week, and Senator Ciccone read out a statement of support of Landcare to support the national campaign. So big thanks to you, Senator. I know you spent a few claps earlier, but we'll talk it up. This is important. And with him is Senator Perrin Davey, and I'd like you to please welcome Senator Davey and Senator Ciccone to present the Costa Award. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Costa, and I must say when he prematurely announced us, I soiled my undies. Thank you very much. It is such a pleasure for us to be here in person tonight. Raf and I, from different sides of the chamber, the Senate chamber, came together nearly 3 years ago to start the Parliamentary Friends of Landcare because we both recognise the importance of the community spirit that fosters Landcare, the importance of the fact that Landcare is in both the regions and in the cities, and the importance that those started by Bob Hawke, successive governments of both Labor and Liberal and National governments have supported Landcare since its inception, and we wanted to make sure that continues. Raf?
Although, unlike Perrin, I haven't soiled my undies tonight, but I do want to also echo the words that Perrin has just articulated to everyone tonight. It's important that we also mention that it's the very first time that the Parliament of Australia has established a parliamentary friendship group of Landcare, and that happened 3 years ago when Perrin and I both got talking about not just about the environment, but also about our farming community, about the great work that our environmentalists do, and also learning from our First Nations people as well. And we took it upon ourselves to establish the group for the very first time, and it came as a bit of a surprise to both of us that the Parliamentary Friends of Landcare had never been established, given the legacy of Bob Hawke and many others after him. I can also say that we've also re-established that group in this new term of Parliament since the federal election earlier this year. So I just wanted to say thank you to all my colleagues for supporting both Perrin and I in establishing that group. As Costa had also alluded to with Landcare Week, I took the opportunity in the Senate to say a few remarks acknowledging the great work that the tens of thousands of Landcarers right around Australia do. Every day, every week, every month, every year. And I know there are a couple of people here tonight, particularly from my home state in Victoria, who I'll no doubt go and say hello afterwards. But I just want to say thank you to everyone here tonight, to every 600 of you here, plus the many, many thousands of people who are watching tonight and those who can't participate. But it is important that we do acknowledge the many recipients, because everyone in this room, everyone who was acknowledged deserves an award tonight. But it's also a great pleasure that Perrin and I have tonight to announce the finalists for the National Costa Award. So as we all know, coastal and marine ecosystems are facing growing threats, including from climate change and historical mismanagement, making community stewardship of our natural and cultural marine and coastal environments increasingly important. Now, to protect these ecosystems, coast carers, some of whom are in this room tonight, are doing fantastic work right across Australia. And I'm proud to present, with Perrin, the National Coast Care Award to honour those people for their achievements. This award recognises a community group or network that has demonstrated excellence in activities that have contributed to the significant movement and improvement of our local coastal and marine environments, including our coastal marine wetlands and salt marsh ecosystems.
And the National Coastal Award finalists are Phil Heaton and Budgewoi Beach Dune Care from New South Wales, Victor Harbour Coast Care from South Australia, Bustleton Jetty Incorporated from Western Australia, Friends of Bass Strait Islands from Tasmania, Cape Patterson Residents and Ratepayers Association and Harmers Haven Residents and Ratepayers Group, Friends of Harmers Haven from Victoria. Arnhem Coast Cleanup from the Northern Territory. And Capricorn Coast Landcare from Queensland.
And it gives me great pleasure to announce the winner of the 2022 National Coast Care Award, Tasmania's Friends of Bass Strait Island. Do you want to read that out? Or do you want... Yeah.
When they come. Oh,
yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Trying to see you with these lights. Let's go over here and get a photo.
So, Friends of Bass Strait Islands have contributed significantly to coastal repair and protection across the Flinders Island coastline and the Furneaux Outer Isles by cleaning up a substantial volume of marine debris in the area, along with undertaking extensive boxthorn and mirrorbush removal to restore critical seabird habitat. Their boxthorn removal project has been operating for several decades, and thanks to this passionate group of highly skilled volunteers, the islands have transformed into a thriving and biodiverse environment. Congratulations to all the finalists on your incredible achievements in Coast Care and your ongoing dedication to protecting our critical coastal and marine environments.
I'd firstly like to say that it pleases me enormously to have this presented by people that are in our parliament to say that have formed a group in recognition. But so down to the more personal sort of thank yous. It's thank you to the Landcare movement, all the volunteers in Friends of Bass Strait Island, or as FOBSI as we describe ourselves, and to the Flinders Island community that has helped us for over 2 decades now. And there are many people who've contributed. It's probably some of the most satisfying work I have ever done. And our group, there's been such great camaraderie. We go a fortnight at a time to amazing offshore islands, have lots of logistical intrigues, and we've achieved great results. And, you know, volunteers have been described as being an integral part to this, but volunteers are so effective because of their passion. And really, they represent great value for money. And the scale of the work that we have is unfortunately beyond the best efforts of volunteers. And part of that is because there's constant need to find funding. That's why I'm very pleased to see this coalition behind me. And there is an increased bureaucratic constraint to much of our work. Without sort of going into it, we couldn't as a group complete the work that we've done in the last 20 years. We can't do some of it. We are constrained, we're not allowed to use fire anymore. And that is of great detriment. But ultimately, really, all that said, The results speak very loudly for what we've been able to achieve, and our professionalism, the time we've spent, the effort and the enthusiasm. But yes, I'd love to talk to any politician that would like to speak to me more about continuing funding and to have ongoing support from our formal land managers, who unfortunately are too poorly resourced to actually do much of the work themselves, and to have more support from them as well from a bureaucratic point of view. But congratulations to everybody, and thank you, because we do need to heal our land. Thank you.
Thank you, Senators Ciccone and Davey, for being with us tonight. It's fantastic to have you here. And the other thing that you might want to know is there's also, it's not only the Parliamentary Friends of Landcare, there's also the Parliamentary Friends of Soil and the Parliamentary Friends of Regenerative Agriculture. So a big thanks for driving these groups to raise awareness. And of course, to all you mob up on the Arnhem Coast cleanup, to everyone on the Capricorn Coast, and a big congratulations to the Friends of Bass Strait Island. Now, speaking of Coast Care, I just want to make one little reference. There's a young champion here who made a pledge, like the pledge I was talking about on that tree. He made a pledge to start his own Coast Care group, which he did about a year ago. It's called the Cap Coast Eco Warriors. And all the way from Yeppoon, Owen Connor Harris, who you saw in the Steadfast Young Leadership Award. I just want to make mention that Owen is 7 years old. And he's raised $25,000 by selling wristbands and doing Sponsor a Reef Clean Bag. And he's out there living the pledge at 7. Can you stand up, Owen? Wherever you are. Big round of applause. 7 years old. Thank you, Owen. That is not a champion in the making. That is a champion with a lifetime ahead of things to do. What a pleasure, and congratulations on your nomination. Okay, that brings us down to the final award for the evening, the prestigious Bob Hawke Landcare Award. Last year's winner has been with us at the conference today, Andrew Stewart and his wife Jill, and they're both here with us tonight. To announce the finalists, we have Karen Walsh from the Australian Government Department of Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry, and we'll also hear from Minister Watt, who will actually announce the winner. Here's Karen again. Yay, Karen. You're back.
I'm really honoured to be announcing the Bob Hawke Landcare Award nominees. The Bob Hawke Landcare Award is Landcare's most prestigious national award. This award recognises an outstanding individual involved in championing Landcare, someone who inspires others to take action on their own property or part of their involvement in a Landcare group, and who has demonstrated a commitment to natural resource management and sustainable agriculture through being a remarkable leader and a sustainable farm practice innovator. Named after Landcare champion, the former Australian Prime Minister, the Honourable Bob Hawke AC. This award recognises the pivotal role Bob played in elevating Landcare from a grassroots community initiative to a national movement with bipartisan government support that endures today. The recipient of this award will receive a prize package to the value of $50,000 for further development of their knowledge and skills in sustainable land management, enabling them to make an even stronger contribution to Landcare. We have 3 very special finalists for this award here this evening. Please let me introduce you to South Australia's Dr. Mary Retallick. Mary is an experienced agroecologist, scientist and third-generation viticulturalist who has pioneered the use of native insectary plants in and around productive systems. Dr. Retallick currently runs the National Landcare Smart Farm Small Grants funded Eco Vineyards program in collaboration with the Wine Grape Council of South Australia and more than 60 partnering organisations. We then have New South Wales' Bruce Maynard, an agricultural innovator and inventor of the no-kill cropping system, a unique revolutionary technique that relies on the retention of full grassland functions, resulting in the consumption of almost no external inputs. Mr. Maynard also initiated the Constructive Farming Cooperative, developed the stress-free stockmanship competencies, and pioneered self-herding alongside Dr. Dean Revel. And finally, we have New South Wales's George Bassett, a nationally recognised specialist in regenerative agriculture and soil health, and the founder of Farm Mojo. Mr. Bassett is a professional farmer of over 40 years, a champion of enhancing on-farm soil fertility, has worked extensively with Landcare groups across Australia for the last 35 years, and is a project leader and research collaborator with the Carbon Farm and Southern Cross University. It is my pleasure to announce that Minister Watt, Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry, who unfortunately can't be here at the event tonight, will announce the winner of the 2022 Bob Hawke Landcare Award.
Hi everyone, Murray Watt here, Federal Agriculture Minister, sending you a message from Ngunnawal country to all of you on Gadigal land. I acknowledge First Nations people right across Australia and pay respect to their care and management of the lands and waters over tens of thousands of years. It's a real honour to present the Bob Hawke Landcare Award as part of the 2022 National Landcare Awards. It won't be a surprise to any of you that Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and all of my Cabinet colleagues frequently look back to Prime Minister Bob Hawke for guidance, for his courage, conviction and leadership. Bob Hawke loved Australians and they loved him back. He stands as a great protector of our natural environment and for all of us as custodians of Landcare, that great national movement forever connected with him. Bob's special talent was nurturing the spirit of consensus and his ability to bring together governments, trade unions, businesses, farmers, conservationists and all parts of society. Amid the compounding challenges of climate change, natural disasters and the degradation of our natural environment, that spirit of consensus is more important than ever. The Bob Hawke Landcare Award is a fitting tribute to our former Prime Minister and is a prestigious national award that publicly recognises an individual involved in championing Landcare and who inspires others to act on their own property or as part of their involvement in a Landcare group. The Bob Hawke Landcare Award recipient will be awarded a prize package to the value of $50,000 for further development of their knowledge and skills in sustainable land management to enable the recipient to make an even stronger contribution to Landcare. I'm very proud to announce the winner of this year's award is Bruce Maynard. For 35 years, Bruce has implemented, invented and extended regenerative agricultural systems on his family farm in central New South Wales and across Australia. Bruce invented the no-kill cropping system, developed stress-free stockmanship competencies, and co-invented the self-herding grazing management techniques. Bruce's continued commitment to real impacts is evident in more than 200,000 trees and 350,000 shrubs he's planted on his own property during his life. This is an inspiring example of what can be achieved for Landcare and community groups that have visited the family property over the past 20 years. Bruce really embodies what Bob Hawke saw as the potential of Landcare. Bob once warned, "When the earth is spoiled, humanity and all living things are diminished. We have taken too much from the earth and given back too little." Through his actions, Bruce has truly listened and heeded that call. Congratulations again, Bruce, and best of luck with your ongoing endeavours.
Thank you very much.
As the Minister said, Bruce's experience and passion for sustainable agriculture and land care is second to none. Not only has he developed the no-kill cropping and self-herding systems, adding to the range of sustainable farming options, integrating social, landscape and economic benefits simultaneously, but he is dedicated to sharing his knowledge and skills with farmers and land carers across Australia. Through his work with the Constructive Farming Cooperative, a group of farmers and researchers committed to extending the application of regenerative agriculture techniques, he continually demonstrates his enthusiasm for providing creative opportunities for communities, farmers and land carers to work together to tackle complex challenges, including climate change and species decline. Thank you to all the finalists for your outstanding achievements in the land care and sustainable agriculture, and congratulations to Bruce Maynard, the winner of the 2022 Bob Hawke Landcare Award.
Thank you very much. I'm overwhelmed, truly. I guess maybe my few short remarks, because that's a good idea, isn't it? Should be a speech of threes, and some advice given to me years ago about speeches was that really it should just be about three things: either how to make more money, how to have better sex, or C, jokes about A and B. But genuinely, this is my thoughts come to the threes, and the three people that met in Bob Hawke's office all those years ago, Philip Toyne, Rick Farley, and of course Bob. And Philip and Rick had walked in there with a bit of an ambit claim of how much money they were going to try and ask Bob for, without much expectation of this ridiculously stupid new and novel idea for an Australia-wide movement would be, and they came out with many times more than they asked for, which is really a testament to Bob, of course, and for the fact that there was a meeting of minds of more than just one person, because this award isn't, of course, what a ridiculousness in a way, to have an individual award, because there have been so many people that have assisted and helped and supported and with their knowledge and wisdom, our journey along here, and I say our and we because this really isn't an individual, but just three from a local, national and international level, from Tom Powell from Narromine, who is involved in red dust healing, an Aboriginal guy who literally saves lives on a daily basis, to the inspiration of Dr. Dean Revell, whom I developed self-herding techniques with, and then also Professor Fred Provenza internationally, which opened our eyes to a whole new world of possibilities. And also, I should say too, the other threes is don't at all forget Mary and Jeff here. You know, they really deserve to be up here as well. And there's another three. They're absolutely wonderful what they've done. So, on the theme of threes, it is about past, present and future, of course, and it would be remiss of me to not just mention something slightly on the negative, but we won't dwell on the negative, but something that has impacted us and is impacting our possibilities with all our landcare work throughout Australia, and that is passive chemical exposures. And that is something that has affected us personally, because even though we have undertaken a journey of 35 odd years and planting several 100,000 shrubs and a couple of 100,000 trees, most of those are now dead and dying through forces that are outside of our control. So I look forward to the next bit of threes, which is the parliamentary friends groups of soils, Landcare and I'm forgetting one. You've got it. And having a yarn with them, as well as coming to the very generous rewarding of the money, is that it won't be solely based on the negative, overwhelmingly a bit on the positive, but for the next 2 years I will dedicate myself to making sure that not only the overwhelming positives that you have all done are championed in the national and local media, but also that our challenges aren't ignored. So the last bit of threes, thank you very much to all of you, and for all of us, this is for community, country and commerce. Thank you very much.
Well, I think that song is a good cue to let you know that we have reached the end of the formal part of the evening. Big congratulations to the three nominees, Jeff Basser, Mary Redelack, and the winner of the Bob Hawke Award, Bruce Maynard. Round of applause for our amazing three individuals. I'd like to acknowledge the support of our sponsors, the Australian Government's National Landcare Program, Woolworths, ACM, KPMG, Steadfast and Landcare Australia for hosting these National Landcare Awards. What a treat it has been to be face-to-face in this room. It's so wonderful that each and every one of you have made the effort to be here. For those of you online, I can safely say on behalf of all of us, we have had a lovely evening so far, and there is about a hectare of dance floor here that we need to put the deep rippers into and get out there and cut the rug. So that will be next, but I don't think that will be broadcast or streamed. But to all of you at home, to all of you all around the country, to the nominees, to all the groups doing amazing work, thank you for what you do. Thank you for supporting the conference. Thank you for watching the conference online. We know you're there. I can see it through the messages. I can see it through the online posts. Tomorrow, the conference is on again. If you have any friends that don't know about it, let them know that they can sign up and join into any of the streams tomorrow. To those of you here, I have said get up and cut the rug, but I will mention that the conference is back on in this room right here at 8:30 tomorrow morning. So work your time frames backwards and have a great night. That's it from me. It's been an absolute pleasure to be a part of the 2022 National Landcare Awards. To wrangle this whole evening has been so much fun. To everyone that I've met, to the new faces, to the familiar faces, and to everyone online, thanks for being a part of it. Everybody here, let's enjoy the rest of the night, and I will see you all here tomorrow, and to everyone online, see you tomorrow as well. Thanks, everyone.